Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be trying a new kind of video that I've wanted to try for a while. My top 10 animatronics of the year. Make sure to tell me if you like this kind of video and if I should keep doing them. Also, I couldn't really figure out a way to start this video, so I decided what better way than to take a trip back through 2024 and show most of the animatronics I've seen. But now, that's enough of me talking. Now let's get into number 10. Coming in at number 10 for the list, we have Nibbles the Clown. The main reason Nibbles the Clown is on this list is because of the motion tracking technology. Without it, he'd probably be on my top 10 worst of the year. Because when I first seen him, I thought he was a terrible prop until I realized he had the motion tracking technology. But another reason he's in number 10 and not higher is because of his arm movement. For some reason, they made his arm with nothing in it move instead of his arm with the lollipop in it. If that moved, he'd probably make a higher spot on this list. But because now he's kind of just like a generic SVI clown with motion tracking, he still made the list, but that's why he's so low. Now let's get on to number 9. Coming in at the number 9 spot, we have the Lowe's Deep Sea Diver. This is kind of a surprising one for me because when I first seen his stock photos, I didn't really like him. When I seen his video, I was even more disappointed because his animation was boring. But then when I seen him in person, he really grew on me. When you turn him on, it really looks like he's underwater with how his face lights up. I think Techie did great with him. I really like the moss/creepy cloth on him. I like how it's a full helmet and not just half of one. I like the harpoon. I think it really looks great. I think he's a great prop, and that's why he made my number 9 spot. But now let's get on to number 8. Making the number 8 spot, we have yet again another Lowe's prop, the Servo Sea Witch. She's again another one that I didn't really like when I seen her prototype pictures. But after seeing her video and seeing the netting, I really like the netting. I like the skin color they used for her. I'm a little disappointed that it's not a heart on her staff and it's a crab. And it's also kind of upsetting that she only has one voice line. But really, that's all that really upset me about her. Otherwise, she's a really great prop. But now let's get on to number 7. Taking the number 7 spot, we have one of the most underrated props of the year, Dark Princess. When I'm watching people's spirit ranking videos for the year, I almost always see her near the bottom, when in my opinion, she should be near the top. I'm a little upset they used a plastic face mold for her because in person it doesn't look as good as on the video, but she's still a great prop that scares me almost every time I see her, especially when you have her volume turned down really low. But otherwise, now let's get into number 6. Taking the number 6 spot by a long shot is Towering Tallulah. Towering Tallulah is one I wanted to put higher, but since she's the third iteration of Mr. Dark, I feel like if I put her any higher, it would be kind of unfair. I'm not a huge fan of putting reskins on these lists, but for her I made an exception because she's probably my favorite spirit prop of the year and my favorite Mr. Dark reskin ever. But now let's get into number 5. For the number 5 spot, we have an animatronic from a surprise retail contender this year, Big Lots. Last year, Big Lots had a small lineup, I believe, 2 animatronics, but this year they had a lineup of 3 great animatronics, and he is one of them. Probably the best werewolf prop we've ever gotten from Techie, at least, or in my opinion, of all time. I think he's great. He's very tall. I think he's not too tall. Some people were upset he's not taller, but I think making him taller wouldn't make that much sense. 7 feet, I think, is the perfect height for him. The only complaint I think I have about him is the plastic jaw. Otherwise, he is probably one of my favorite props of the year, but now we're getting into number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have really not a surprising one at all. It's the Bone Collector. The Bone Collector is probably one of my, if not my favorite 12-footers of all time. While I think he's a little bit overhyped, I do think that he is a revolutionary 12-footer in the sense of how much animation he has. Adding that eye movement that's not just LCD eyes, I think is a game changer from Techie. And I think that they can rule the 12-footer space as long as they keep doing that. But that's about all I have to say about him. Now let's get on to the bronze medalist, number 3. Taking the bronze medal spot for all of 2024, we have Captain Cuts. Captain Cuts is most definitely the best pirate prop of all time, at least in my opinion, and probably up there in my top 10 favorite retail props of all time. His face and his movement is just really great and fitting for a pirate prop. Usually I'm not a huge fan of the swaying bodies, but with pirates I think it really works, especially with him. And I also have a review of him out on my channel. If you guys want to go check that out, that would really support me further, and I go into much more detail into why I love him so much. If you guys thought I was done with lows, no, not yet. Taking the number 2 spot, we have the Zombie Fisherman. This guy is one that I really can't explain as to why I love him so much, but I just do. I mean, I love the design. I really like how subtle the movement is for a zombie. I don't like when they have all that movement. I always thought zombies should be slow, like how he is, like his head turning, his arm. I really just think he's a great prop, but I really can't bring myself to pay $350 for him. So I'm going to hopefully get him at 50% off, and it seems like a lot of people aren't buying him, so he should make it. Thankfully, he's online only and not in stores, otherwise I have a feeling he'd be sold out already. But now let's get on to number 1 of the whole year. Taking number 1 of the whole year, we have, without a surprise, Home Depot's Plague Doctor. Not only is he one of my favorite retail animatronics of all time, but as I just said, he's my favorite animatronic of all of 2024. The reason for this is because not only does he have a great price, a really great design, it's a prop we don't see too often. We haven't gotten a Plague Doctor. We got 2 Plague Doctors this year, but we haven't gotten one since 2020 otherwise. It's a prop that I feel like we should see more often, but I think Home Depot did it perfectly. A lot of people don't like the lighting on the LED wire or whatever it's called, or like the goggle lighting up, but I really do like it. I think it adds to his character a lot, and I think Home Depot, it helped them put their own twist on the character. But I have a review on my channel that goes much more in depth than I have here, so if you guys want to go check that out, it would further support me and this channel. But with that, that's going to close off my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.